a prayer for thousands of migrants who've died trying to reach the U.S. Pope Francis finished his visit to Mexico with a mass just meters away from the U.S. He's long been a supporter of migrants and admonished rich countries to do more.
The human tragedy that has forced migration is a global phenomenon today. This crisis, which can be measured in numbers and statistics, we want instead to measure with names, stories and families.
Hundreds of thousands attended the ceremony in Ciudad Juarez. Thousands more watched on CCTV over the border in Texas. His support of migrants stands in stark contrast to anti-immigrant rhetoric from Republicans running for the U.S. presidency. Ciudad Juarez was once the most violent city in Mexico. People were particularly touched by Pope Francis's visit here.
We're hurting as a city with so much violence, so much fallout from the violence. So many children and youth, so many who've lost their way, and many families that fled. We're still here, giving it our all.
We're hoping for peace to arrive because of all the violence we've had. We ask him to bless our city and the whole world, but especially here, so there won't be so much violence.
Earlier in the day, Pope Francis visited a prison that was once run by drug gangs and was the scene of deadly prison riots in 2009.
By visiting Ciudad Juarez, Pope Francis was able to show he wants to reach out to those discarded by society, prisoners and migrants, people that politicians and church leaders often want to overlook.
Juarez was the final stop on a 5-day visit that took him from the southern tip of Mexico to the northern border. Along the way, he criticized politicians who oversee corrupt governments that allow criminal gangs to flourish. He also slammed bishops for hiding behind their comfortable posts and not standing more with their flock. He was criticized by some for not meeting with family members of the disappeared or victims of clergy sexual abuse. Still, millions of Mexicans feel he stood with them as they look for a way to break free from years of corruption and violence. Adam Rainey, Al Jazeera, Ciudad Juarez, Mexico.